What's going on, everyone? Marsellis back with another video, and we got to talk about something a little different today. So we have to talk about what's behind the push for the fourth stimulus check. We have to talk about whether we're going to get this or not. So right now, I'm going to give you the quick answer. Right now, they don't think we are going to get this, possibly because of they're saying that we have already recovered, but we haven't fully recovered, honestly. But let's just read about what we have here, right? So it says, what's behind the push of the fourth stimulus check? So they say the IRS has already issued the payments, 160 million payments for the third, and last week they just now issued 1.8 million payments. So that was the third one, and they're still issuing it to people. So I think that's also one thing that's, now they're trying to solidify what they've already done over here. They're saying they've already given up $3,200 to each American. They said $1,200 in the first one, $600 in the second one, $1,400 in the third one. So they're kind of trying to make it seem like they already, did enough for the people. Then it says, despite that financial assistance, millions of Americans remain in financial distress, with about 4 in 10 people saying their income remains below its pre-pandemic levels. So that is a big statement right there, right? So nationwide, nearly 16 million people are receiving some form of jobless assistance. So the unemployment rate stands at 6.1% still, so far higher than its pre-pandemic level of 3.5%, and jobless rates remain especially elevated in low-wage industries such as food services and hospitality, and those has been hit the worst. So 1 in 4 Americans struggled to pay their household expenses in the previous week. So obviously we still have problems here, but yet they're saying that we've already recovered enough, and they're really just trying their hardest not to. But there are actual lawmakers inside of the government trying to push for this, right? So it says, for many people, in short, the latest round of 1,400 checks may not last long, so it's still lasting for some people, and an issue that is on the minds of many Americans who continue to struggle with joblessness in a weak labor market. Indeed, more than 2.3 million people have signed a Change.org petition that started last year for a recurring $2,000 until the whole pandemic is over. So I'm definitely all for that. But let's look over here. Look, $2,000 per month to every American for the people. 2.3 million people have already signed this. So if 2.3 million people have already signed this, and they still have not, issued any payments or any kind of statement, that's kind of bad right there. But in total, I would say that's about 3% of the whole population of America, or somewhere around there. It's still a significant amount of people that signed it. So they definitely need to respond to this inside some sort of manner, right? So this is a really big deal here. We really need the stimulus checks for everyone to, continue to be reoccurring. A lot of different countries have already had their reoccurring stimulus, but America, nada. So it says, meanwhile, millions of California residents may be in line to get a fourth stimulus check via a new effort from Governor Gavin Newsom. His plan would send $600 stimulus checks to state residents under a multi-billion-dollar spending plan he introduced in May, with about 2/3 of Californians possibly receiving a stimulus checks payment under his proposal. So that's only for California, so it's not going to help everyone else. So the letter from the U.S. senators doesn't specify how large are the payments they are seeking, but a separate effort from Democratic lawmaker in January pushed for $2,000 monthly. So that was what we just now seen here, and they're really pushing for that. So hopefully that could, but I don't know if that could actually happen. Instead, the American Rescue Plan authorized $1,400 for each eligible adult. So far, people who have received the 3 rounds of stimulus said they're using most of their funds to pay down debt or stock away the money in savings, according to a recent analysis. That could indicate that people are using the money to whittle down debt they occurred during the pandemic. And a lot of people took out loans during the pandemic. I actually took out a loan myself, a $5,000 loan. And then I had to use the stimulus to pay it off. And a lot of people are still doing that same thing. So it says here, almost 7 in 10 Americans who have received or believe they will soon get a third payment say it's important for their near-term finances. So still living paycheck to paycheck. People are literally still living paycheck to paycheck. So how likely is the fourth stimulus check? They say don't hold your breath, according to Wall Street analysis. I think it's unlikely at this time. So they're saying that they really think it's unlikely. One reason is that the Biden administration is focused on advancing its nearly $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which would reshape the economy by rebuilding aging schools, roads, and airports, as well as investing in projects ranging from affordable housing to broadband. So pretty much what they're saying is Biden's more focused on building the infrastructure of houses, schools, roads, airports, anything you can think of that aren't people, pretty much. He's pretty much trying to fix the buildings and the businesses of the world instead of trying to fix the personal problems of people. So this is pretty much what's going on. He's saying people are already recovering. So since people are already recovering, they're going to go ahead and fix, the schools, roads, and airports and everything else, investing in different stuff. So I'm not going to say whether that's right or wrong. I definitely believe that we deserve more stimulus, saying that they shut down the economy. So it's definitely their responsibility to hold the people up since they shut down the economy. And you got to think about it. Even a lot of people are still not able to travel because of travel restrictions. I mean, we can't go internationally to certain places. So obviously it's not completely recovered. So that's just my take on it. But this isn't about my take. Let's keep reading here. The proposal, which the White House says would be funded by boosting the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, may be tougher to pass than the relief bill that provided the 1,400 checks to most Americans. Look, I think we already have too many taxes for corporations and for normal people. I feel like if you tax the corporations and you tax the rich even more, they're more than likely going to lower the wages for people. They may fire some people, and it's just not going to be pretty if you up the taxes on the rich. It's just not going to be pretty because they're the people who employ the poor. So I think it's best to not tax the rich even more, and I think it's best to not tax the poor either. It's obvious that they're printing money left and right, so why not just print money instead of taking it from people? That's my take on it, and I'm pretty sure it's your take too. But let's keep moving on here. So that could help this summer when many households will get a form of additional stimulus aid when families with children under 18. So also that's another thing that they're talking about. They're saying we're more than likely not going to get the stimulus check, but we are going to get child tax credits. And that is what they've been talking about. That's the main thing that they're talking about, is the child tax credit. So over here it says, is there a fourth stimulus check? Most likely there will not be, as they say here. Again, this will likely come in the form of the expanded child tax credit, which will be distributed between July 15th and December 15th. Remember, anything can happen. We may actually get a fourth stimulus check, but we don't know. Everyone is saying most likely not. So that is the answer that we're seeing most prominent on the internet right now. People are saying most likely not, but if you have children, then yes, you're going to get the child tax credit, and that's going to be distributed, July 15, December 15, somewhere between then. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but they still need to help the people without children, but let's keep reading here. Under the American Rescue Act, the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, would send out monthly checks between July and December for eligible parents. So yes, they have the child tax credit, and they have the qualifications here. $75K for single parents if you have that. So $112K for the head of the household, $150K for a married couple. So pretty much anyone who doesn't, or anyone who makes, less than this amount. So that's a pretty good statement there, because most people don't make that much money. Let's just be honest here. So most people with children are going to get that. So will I get a fourth stimulus check? Probably not, they're saying, given the economy's continued path to recovery. But let's be honest here. Everything hasn't fully recovered all over the state or all over the country. Some certain states have, like Florida, but there are states that still have restrictions. So they say probably not. But that being said, more than 2.3 million people signed this petition right over here. So maybe the Biden administration looks at this petition and they're like, okay, let's go ahead and do this and pass this bill. But honestly, it's not all up to them to pass the bill. We all know that it takes more people to do this. And just like over here, the Senate momentum for recovery checks. So a powerful and growing bloc of the Senate Democrats are calling for recurring, smartly targeted, auto-stabilized direct payments to be included in President Biden's next economic recovery package as a top legislative priority. So who is this coalition? The coalition is led by Senate Finance Chair Ron Wyden and now includes 21 senators, with more joining every day. This powerful and diverse coalition includes Senate leadership and 6 committee chairs and disproportionate representation from Midwest and Rust Belt states. Every Senate Democrat from Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, and Ohio is inside the group, so they're all for it. And a broad range of Senate Democrats from moderate leaders like Senate State Now, and then all these other different senators, and Warren Buffett. So not Warren Buffett, but Senator Warren. Well, look, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee Chair. So pretty much almost all of the Democratic senators are all for this, right? They're all for the stimulus check to be pushed. So hopefully they can get this pushed, but it's 21 senators total that are pushing for this, right? So 21 senators total. So hopefully this can get pushed. We have Bernie Sanders in here. Obviously Bernie Sanders is going to be with it because we know Bernie Sanders is for the people. And honestly, we just need more and more senators to be with this. We need the Biden administration to continue to push for the fourth stimulus check, because let's be honest, most Republicans do not want the stimulus to, get anywhere. So most likely, if we can get all of these Democrats on board, then yes, we can get it. And if we can get at least some of the Republicans on board, then that will be an even more sure way to get that fourth stimulus check. So hopefully we can get that, and hopefully there won't be a problem with that, right? So these new payments are already in the pipeline. That is what they're saying. But honestly, let's read this. Scores of lawmakers want to give Americans a fourth pandemic relief payment. So the lawmakers want to, senators want to, that are Democrats, they want to, all the 21 senators want to, but there's people who don't want it. So, and maybe more beyond that. But it's not clear whether House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, so she has a really big say in this, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other congressional leaders will wrote a new stimulus check into upcoming legislation to fix U.S. infrastructures and help families. And there's no guarantee a fourth round of direct aid would ever win approval. Republicans can be counted on to oppose it, and moderate Democrats probably wouldn't support the idea either. They questioned whether the recent third stimulus checks were necessary. So they're already questioning if the third one was necessary, and no Republicans want this to happen, and only 21 Democrats really want this to happen. So it's looking like most likely not, but they are saying we are 100% for sure getting the child tax credit. So that's already in. But hopefully they actually pass this, because more people other than just families need this. Obviously families need the money even more. So yes, they're going to get the tax credit, but then it would be even more amazing if we could actually have the stimulus check on top of that, on top of the family tax credit. So hopefully that gets pushed. And there's just a bunch of rumors going on. So they're saying the fourth stimulus check is a rumor. So they're saying it's a rumor, and they're saying we're not getting it. And they say at least 25 states have dropped federal unemployment aid from the stimulus package as businesses and as the business bemoan the inability to fill a surplus of job vaccines with enough workers. So state senators and governors have argued that the economy has rebounded. So they're really saying the economy has already rebounded, and that people really don't need this assistance, and that's what they're pushing. So honestly, it just depends whether or not the Republicans get on board and most of the Democrats get on board, because we already have 21 Democratic senators on board. So we just need the Republicans on board. So right now, that's all we know. So everything else is a rumor. But what we do know, we are getting child tax credit expansion. So the child tax credit unemployment assistance may get pushed through again. So it says, although many states have decided to end unemployment aid provided by the government, the federal supplement is still about $300 per week. This will last until September 6, 2021. There are still other programs available to people whose employment has been impacted by COVID-19. The stimulus relief bill extended the pandemic unemployment assistance program for self-employed or gig workers. So unemployment is about to be extended. Homeowner assistance fund. So the homeowner assistance fund was created to prevent mortgage delinquencies. So this is going to be until about January 20. Or no, it's saying over here, it's saying foreclosures, loss of utilities, and displacement of homeowners experience financial hardship after January 2021. The funds may be used for assistance with mortgage payments, homeowners insurance, utilities, and other qualifying expenses. So homeowner assistance fund, that's something that they're saying that they already pushed out there, and they're pretty much trying to say that we've already recovered. So that's pretty much what they're saying here. We've already recovered. We've already given homeowners assistance. We are already given child tax credits, but more child tax credits are coming. So they're saying they're giving more assistance, but really it seems like they're trying their hardest to not give a fourth stimulus. That's what I'm reading here. It seems like they're trying their hardest to not do this. But honestly, everything else is a rumor. So far, the fourth stimulus is not 100% sure. So honestly, whether or not we do get that or not, that depends on the Republicans at this point, because we already know Biden is trying to push for the infrastructure. He hasn't said anything about the fourth stimulus, and unless Biden makes a statement about it, then nothing's going to happen. So we need Biden to make a statement on it, and then we need some of the Republicans to agree on it, because we already have 21 senators that are agreeing on it that are Democrats. So that's all we know now for this. But remember, whatever happens, just remember, don't be mad, because we already got 3 stimulus checks. So even if you can't get the fourth one, you can still file for unemployment until then, and you can still get the child tax credit. But yeah, This is the stimulus check update, and I will update you again whenever we have more news. So definitely check that out, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.